Welcome everyone to the Pitching Tense podcast. We didn't even tell you that's what it was called. Pitching Tense.
Now you know.
Yeah, now you know.
I'm just saying, I'm ready.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, Pitching Tense. As y'all know, this is a show where we talk about people doing stuff, man. People out here building something for themselves, whether that's music, business, both, whatever that thing is. And we're trying to bring y'all the best guests that we can find and then that we're working with in our media business. And today we have Mr. Toby Gibson.
More of a trial run than a quality guest, maybe.
Hey, we're here. Yeah, welcome.
Glad to be here. Very, very glad to be here.
Yes, sir. And then, of course, with us as always, we have Zach over here.
How's it going? Good to be back. Toby, I love your music, man.
Oh, thank you.
Just off the bat, off rip, the first day we landed on your page, I think I played The Garden, which we just shot a music video for that you guys will be able to see. Played Mountain Man. What was that third one I was listening to? Came right after Mountain Man.
Probably Devil's Dance, maybe?
Yep, Devil's
Maybe
Dance.
something like that.
Yep, Devil's Dance. I thought, got to do a music video with him, and I'm glad it worked out, man.
Oh, yeah, thank you, man.
It's going to turn out real
Appreciate it.
nice. It's going to turn out real nice.
I really enjoyed working with you guys. And I can tell you listening. I remember the first conversation we had, I asked you a couple of questions. I could tell you'd already listened to that one,
Yep,
you know. And,
yep.
you know, it means a lot with somebody that you don't know. You know,
100%.
from a different place likes your music. So I really appreciate that, you know.
100%, man.
Always makes you feel good. You know, always makes you feel good.
Absolutely. You like when people, like your craft.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, just
Mhm.
any subject, any skill that you have. When someone reaches out and like it,
If you try to put a piece of yourself out there where somebody says, I can relate to that or understand, you know, that always feels good. You know,
100%. 100%. So just tell us, where you grew up, man. When did you start playing music? Just give us a little background on Toby.
Let's see. Grew up in northeast Tennessee, little county called Hancock County. Just real small, rural Appalachia kind of town. I always live about kind of 20 years behind the times. You know, it's kind of like just a little bit behind. You know, just
Yeah.
like I told you guys earlier, my claim to fame is like we're an hour and a half from Walmart. So you know, we're kind of back up in there.
That's out there. That's out there.
When I grew up, my family is. I grew up in a very religious family. They were very active in church and things, and big musically. You know, they traveled around singing. And even my grandpa, back in the day, we'd have like old bluegrass people from the area, like Chubby Collier, famous bluegrass people come by his house on Sunday, and they'd eat dinner and play music. And honestly, I kind of thought that was everybody. I thought everybody was lucky enough to have that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I thought it was just like a normal thing. So I got older now and talking to other people that play, So in my family, it was always really big, and most of it, they did all, gospel stuff, and just always around it, music.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, we know a little bit about that, man. We both grew up, went to Christian school, so yeah, that's how we grew up too, man.
So y'all had the deal, y'all right,
Oh,
sir?
yeah. Southern Baptist, boy.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying, right?
Cut from the same cloth.
The Hillfire and
Yeah.
Brimstone,
Yeah.
right?
That's 100% right.
just don't drink and everything we find, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I feel like, really, my mom had like, I think she had like 5 brothers and sisters,
Okay.
so kind of a big family. My dad had 10 brothers and sisters, so big families on both sides.
Yeah.
My mom's side was always real religious and musical. My dad's side was just wild as hell. They all kind of got straightened out, kind of came in,
Yeah.
So I grew up in really strict, like my secular music I had to hide. You had a little blue tank box I'd hide under my bed, and had my hiding stashes,
Mm-hmm.
So I was always, I can remember going as a kid, before parental warnings, I went and bought the Jimi Hendrix greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember being in the back of the car, my parents driving down the road, I got my earphones on just back there like, be cool. Just be, because it's just my mind was blowing back then.
Yeah,
I just want to talk to somebody about it, but I can't. But
Mm-hmm.
so always around music. But my grandfather was a great musician, great singer. I don't even feel like within my intermediate family, I'm in the top 50% of those people. They just such beautiful harmonies and musicians.
That's awesome.
So always around it.
You probably picked up a guitar as young as you can remember.
Yeah, always doing something. I probably got real serious about it when I was, I lived in northeast Tennessee, close to Knoxville. So like around the 2000 or so. I think we talked earlier about it, Scott Miller and those guys. I started going to Knoxville, seeing those guys, and I was just like, wow. I was like, I felt like I heard music I loved, but nothing I felt was like something for me.
Sure.
I was like, and I remember I went and saw him at a record store or something, and heard like 3 songs. I was like, man, I feel like this dude is singing my songs. So, that just lit a fire in me to start playing and stuff. And that's when I really got serious about making my own music, I guess.
Gotcha.
But always around the outskirts of it,
Gotcha. And how old were you then?
Probably like 18, 19.
Yeah.
I graduated when I was 17, moved straight out. I was heading to the city. So, the day I graduated, I moved out, moved to town. And just something different, Just looking for, I'd been in that religious environment for a long time. So, I was ready for something new. Anything else. There's good people there. I know they mean well, but something else for me. So, that when I heard that music, I was like, oh, here's something I can do. I feel like it was like solidifying me, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
So what, I guess that's kind of a question that everybody has, right? Like, how do you go from, all right, I know what I want to do, I want to play music. Like, what's that next step?
Starting out, I guess the thing is I just started, when I started playing a lot, I felt like I started writing songs, just started coming. And then, I started hitting a lot of open mics and just singer-songwriter things, like just me playing with an acoustic.
Yep.
So I started meeting a lot of people, people like your stuff, they talk to you very quickly. I had a bass player, then an electric guitar player, and a drummer. I was setting them in a band, so had a really good band there when I was young, but we were all just young and kind of foolish, I guess, because we had really good music, like we put out good stuff, but we didn't know how to handle ourselves. We were just young people.
Sure.
Nobody said this is how you do it, this is what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
My influences and the people I've been around have not been the best. They were doing their thing, no hate on them, but we were just wild. We were just wild.
Yeah.
But we were good enough that people tolerated it for a long time.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And so they would it's like they loved you, but they knew what they were getting.
They like the end product.
They would give you kind of a talk at the end of the night, but they had a good time. They made money, so they were happy. But at the end of that, kind of took a break. We got to the end, same old rock and roll story. We needed to take a break. And so we did, and I stopped playing for a while, and got into writing actually, and did some good things writing. I had a lot of stuff published, had some poems published, some. I wrote a little thing from Berea about something I'd written in the Appalachian Heritage thing, and did that for a while. But man, I just wanted to play music. So the weird thing is, like that first band I was telling you about, my drummer, he got a little bit of trouble, and if his parents ain't gonna be listening to this, so I'm telling you, he got a little bit of trouble. Had to join the Navy. They just he had to. So we went to the Navy, went out west, stayed in San Diego. I think he was out there like 8 years. He done his time, and like on his flight back, pretty much he hit me up and was like, "Hey, just play some music," and it would just fell right in line, So we started. That's where we started the thing we do now. So kind of where that came from.
Nice.
I hope I never get in so much trouble where I have to.
Right.
I don't even know where that's going, but I don't want any part of having to join a military service.
Like, do you want to do this or this? It's like one of the options.
Yeah.
The good option is the Navy.
Yeah. What's that bad option like?
Yeah, no thanks. You're just grinding, man. You're just out there, just I guess like what? So I guess tangibly, like, what does that look like? You just go to bars, ask them like, "Hey, y'all have any open mics? Like, how do I get on the set list? All that stuff."
Yeah, starting out, that's it. Starting out, you just try to play places, hope somebody likes what you do.
Yep.
And they'll say, "Hey, come back this night." Maybe they'll book you. Maybe the other band come back. And that's the thing that's hurt recently most with this, Corona, the shutdown, is all these people I've known for the last 5, 6, 7 years. They've had to drop their music job, and now they're doing something else because they had to. The venue shut down. So I'm like, who's booking there now? They don't even know the person booking there now. They've been there forever. So that's been a little bit rough, but it's all kind of, it's really, there's so much networking, local music and regional music that, we understand we have to work together right now.
Yeah.
Like, the Bristol, Johnson City, what they call the Tri-Cities area, great place as far as just like the fellowship of music.
Right.
You get to other bigger areas like Nashville, Knoxville. It's a little more cutthroat. You know, you gotta.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're coming in. You better have your business face on. You know.
Sure.
And so, even at those areas now, they're like, "Hey, check this place out. They need somebody. They need somebody." So, you know, it's just working together right now. So we're just trying to figure out what's going on and see how we can all survive out of it. You know, keep doing what we do.
I feel like that's one of many industries that just doesn't get talked about. Like, we don't have to talk about what's COVID done to the world and the country. And obviously everybody knows, but those are kind of things you don't really think about. You know, like the artist trying to make it, or it's nothing that came to my mind. And you know, how many artists are putting out really good stuff that maybe we just won't get to hear, or maybe their big break didn't happen because they couldn't meet the right person. I mean, there's just a lot of fallout that you don't think about on a day-to-day basis until you talk to someone like yourself.
And it's almost like, with everybody starting back up, it's almost like pushing reset. You know, it's like a reset button almost, because all of a sudden they've hired a new booking person that nobody knows. So, if my friend from Loose Leaves hooks up with this guy, then he'll let me know. Or if I meet this guy in this place, so we're trying to work that out, and kind of the community's trying to piece it all together, but we're getting there. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it seems like everything's starting to slowly open back up, and
I feel terribly sorry for somebody that's within the first couple of years, because they put in a good year or two, and they know a few people, but it's rough.
I can't imagine. I can't, to not be able to, because a lot of people aren't willing to knock down on the doors that they have to in a normal circumstance, but the people that are willing but can't, I mean, that's got to just
it's crazy.
Rip your heart out, I can't imagine.
And he was like the venue people. It was funny. Like, got a message from one guy the other day has a venue, and he was kind of trying to be positive, but he puts this thing like, "Don't ask for a guest list.
Right.
There'll be no free drinks for bands for a while." It's kind of like, we're just trying to get it going again.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy to do that. Everybody understands.
Of course.
So, that's wild, man. How's Tennessee with the COVID stuff? I mean, are they mask on still? Or?
Man. We were pretty, it's touch and go, Like my rural community in Appalachia, it was like, you're lucky to get somebody with a mask on in places,
Sure.
So, I just put mine on, and, try to do what I can do.
That's all you can do, right?
What I can do. And, but I'm hoping this vaccine, kind of opens things up. And I went to a few of the outdoor concerts. They tried to do the drive-in, so those were cool. But I mean, it's just I miss the crowds, man. I miss the crowd. That little venues. There's nothing better than a small venue full of people that want to be there.
Yep.
And this has been a long time. Feels like since that's went down. So
for sure.
So excited to get back to that.
Bring that energy.
Definitely. It's just like it's a completely different thing. It's like your fifth member of your band, kind of. It's like, you put that out there, but that's when you get that, that's when it all comes together sometimes, and that's what I play, that's what I play for more than anything. There's those experiences, you get so locked in with your band, you have a nonverbal communication, and the crowd's kicking, and everything's just falling in place, So, we hope we can get back there. It's like my band, we just had our first practice, like was mentioned earlier, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
You can feel the rust, but, just want to get back to that pocket, trying to find that pocket again.
Nothing like it.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, it's what you want. That's why you do it,
Yeah. When you're at a concert, and like I went to a Goo Goo Dolls concert back during high school.
Yeah.
And like they played Iris. It's like everybody knows Iris.
Right.
And it's like when that crowd gets behind you and everybody's singing that same line.
Right.
It's something different, man. It makes your hair stand up a little bit.
Well, with Rob Thomas, man, it's like he was like nobody talks about him anymore.
Yeah.
There was years there that he was the man.
Absolutely.
That's the stuff with Santana I love too, man. So. But yeah, dude, when you get in there and it's just like it's like a church experience almost.
Absolutely.
And I say, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Coming back from those backgrounds, you grow up. There's times you feel that they said the Holy Ghost. I guess in a way, that music's playing, everybody's going. Man, I mean that's what I experienced at a rock concert too. Though, there's times I play music, I feel that, and I know it's I need a little touch of the spirit sometimes.
Sometimes you got to.
Right.
Listen, I have always wondered, like they make it seem really just an awesome lifestyle. How's like on the road? Are you partying every night? Are you just getting back to your hotel and sleeping all the time? Did it change from when you were younger to older? Like how was your experience touring?
We do it being on the road is something I love. You know, I missed it. I didn't realize how much I would miss it until it was taken from me. You know what I mean? When it's gone, you miss it a lot more. When I was younger, you know, the kind of the music of my early people I looked to that were kind of showing me the way. Heavy into, you know, they partied a lot more. And I guess that's what I fell into early. You know, I was trying to, I guess I just thought that's how the things went. You know, you show up and you start doing it, and you know what? I mean, with my original band, you know, sometimes it was nice when you turn it on like that. You know?
Yeah.
But over time, that's so much harder on you. You know, it's so much harder on you on the road. Kind of like I can do an easy 8 months that's really good compared to 3 months that's really hard. You know, and it gets so sloppy at the end. You know, but you know, I think it depends on where you're at. I think if you're going to be serious, and if you're serious about getting your stuff out there, you've got to find not just yourself, but that group of people you can put around you or on the road. You can keep your shit together a little bit, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's easy to just roll into a town and start drinking, especially when you're waiting to play for a couple hours. You know, and you don't know nobody or what to do.
Yeah.
And you know, people find out you're in the band, they want you to want to hang out with you.
That's right.
And you know, that first band, as we digressed, you know, it's the thing. We started playing a lot of biker places, and that was it's crazy, you know, how people just pull you into their circle and you become what you're playing around.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, I know I discussed with you guys earlier, I really love the people I'm playing with there now because they really focus on the music, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, it's more about the art than it is the party, you know, and that's kind of, I'm happy to be there, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get caught up in that other side.
Some people don't get there, I feel like.
Everybody else in the bar came to party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're having a good time, you're making them, you know, but you can't get caught up in that a lot of times. You start losing, you know, the other side that keeps you going.
I would always think, like, you never know who's watching. You know, like, the next show could be the one. You know,
right.
That's how it's happened for, you know,
if you go out
countless
there
artists
like
in
on
the
a
past.
slot fest fucking on the stage.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that sticks in my mind that I think about a lot too when I'm playing smaller places is I have a friend back in Bristol that does a little radio show, and he'd play some stuff that John Prine played later in. And he said, you know, he used to have a bit, you know, he used to drink a little too much tea, you know, we've had that talk. And he told me, he was like, one time, you know, he said, hey, JP, you know, it's not professional to have a beer on stage. You know, and then John Prine told him that. I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of like scripture musically. You know, if you hear something from, you know, even now, like when I go out, if I got a beer in my hand, I'm like, that rings in my mind.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's stuck with you.
I can almost see John Prine saying it to me. You know, it's like, it ain't professional to be out there all sloppy drunk now.
Yeah, that's good advice.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Someone trying to, you know, make a name for themselves and do the damn thing.
So you get more respect for not doing that versus being just trying to fit in. You know,
And I think, you know, the artist community, they notice that too. You know, when you're the party band, you know, it definitely has its negative side effects.
Sure.
So definitely got happy to be away from that side of it. You know.
Cool. Well, I've noticed about you, man, just spending the day together. Shameless plug, The Garden. We'll have a music video. Hope you guys can check that out. You're real authentic. Like you're in your own skin. This is who I am. And like other people, you know, Tim and I, we realize that. You know, talking on Zoom and everything. You're very humble. This guy opened for Zach Bryan, who's one of my personal favorite artists. Just
he's the man.
I think I told you that on day one. Like,
right.
Yeah, you kind of gives me this vibe of this, and you're like, oh yeah, I opened for him, and I was like, wait, oh.
Right.
Yeah.
So just how did that come to be? How was that show? If you met him at all, how was that? Just kind of give me a little rundown of how that all came
Right.
to be.
Yeah. It was a great experience. First of all, the one thing I remember most about that is after we played, is standing there and just hearing so many people sing his lyrics, man. I mean, it was just, it put chills on me, you know, just like that. A guy from Oklahoma, I believe this writer's from Oklahoma originally.
Yes, he is.
You know, we were up in Pikeville, Kentucky, coal mining country, and those people were feeling every one of his lyrics, man. I mean, they singing it like a hymn, you know, they know it. And the way it started, we've been playing up there, we've been putting our music out, and we was taking off well in Kentucky, you know, they was taking to us well. And the guy, Zach, coming into town, wanted us to do a little thing for him, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. You know, people found out he was coming to town.
Yeah.
The show kept getting bigger and bigger. And like, so, you know, we came up and played that night, and dude, he was just like, you think he was a guy pumping your gas at the station. You know what I mean? He was just that kind of guy. He was just nice, I guess, interested, happy to talk to you. Just a big smile on his face, and dude, I mean, I was just like, this is a dude that loves what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is putting his heart and soul into what he's doing.
Yeah.
And to see people respond to it like they did, I mean, it's just. I think he even wrote a song after that I heard. I was listening, talking about the night in Pineville. They were singing his lyrics, you know. And so, yeah, we came out and did the thing. Such a nice guy, you know. Just happy to spend time with you.
That's cool.
Happy to talk about music, and just a good dude all around.
That's awesome. And what did his people contact yours? Did the venue contact you?
I think it was the venue actually. I think it was the venue that hooked us up. You know, it was like, I think you guys would sound good with him.
Okay.
And then, you know, and of course, you know, when we came up, he even knew who we were. It was impressive to me. You know, I was like tickled with that. You know,
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, I remember his fiance who he's married to now. Super sweet, just so active in his. You can see it's a family business. You know, they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
His dad was there, and just even just to see the love of it. You know, he just has that natural thing.
Sure, that's what he really wants to do. True musician, if you will.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
That was a cool situation though, man. Just cool experience all around, you know.
You did one show, 2 shows? Was it like a weekend thing? Or?
I think we did a one night thing in Pineville, and so they had like a whole day. He came up and they did a whole fan greet thing, you know, and like I said, man, just a cool guy. You know, he just seemed like he was happy to be there.
Funny enough, I think he's actually in the Navy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. I think he, because he talked to my drummers, and was, like I said before, the guy that came back. You know, so he was a
He's
Navy
back
guy.
now. Yeah.
And the Navy actually had gave him some kind of, don't know what I'm talking about entirely, but they gave him some like leave where he could go do some music and stuff.
That's
and
super cool.
So yeah, they gave him. I think they did the same thing with Sturgill. You know, they gave Sturgill Sturgill release like that. So yeah, he was out there. I think he was still at that time. He was still enlisted. I think now he may be out.
Yeah,
But at that time he was enlisted.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he may have met his lady there too. I think she may be in the Navy as well.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, just great guy, man. Just a great guy.
That's awesome. It's nice to know like someone like that is authentic and personable, and because like when you listen to his videos, you listen to his songs, like you get that feeling vibe. So
That's
it's nice
him,
to have that
yeah.
confirmation of, you know, you actually being there and meeting him. And
Yeah,
going
that's
through the whole
him. You
thing.
know, it's like you said, you see somebody that talented, that's got their kind of star rising. You
Cool.
know, they can get a little. You know, they can get. You know, people can go the wrong way on that, but he seems to be right down the line, man. Just really excited about doing the music. So great experience, man.
Cool. Well, what got anything new you're working on, or new records, new discography coming out, or?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be. We'll be clicking out a new record soon. Probably going to do a little band record before I do the solo thing again. But
Okay.
we're writing stuff. A lot of songs. It's hard to say which ones will be on the solo, which one will be the band. You know, like the guys talking. If there's some, I'm like, yo, I'm keeping
Sure.
this one for myself. You know,
Yeah,
there's some,
yeah.
you know, that's your baby. You know, you're like, you
For
know.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Give us, what's your band's name again?
Tom's Handgun.
Tom's
Yeah, and,
Handgun. Yep.
We got that name. It's a weird name, Tom's Handgun.
I
but
love it.
Yeah,
we
me
do
too.
these things called like picking parties, and kind of what they are is all the local bands, you know, like 4 or 5 good local bands, just good people. If we all have a weekend off or somehow it lines up where we're all off, we'll try to go to somebody's house and have a party. The rule is always, you know, you got to bring food and you can't play with your band. So, you know, you got to play with whoever else is there. So, you know, the band I play with now, we'd never all played together before. And like immediately before we played, it was at my place up there. We were having a party, and some guy named Tom from Knoxville, nobody knew, pulled a pistol out right before we played. But, you know, cooler heads prevailed, and we got him out, you know, so we got him calmed down and got him going. And we played about 2 songs, and somebody's like, who are y'all? And off the top of my head, I was like, we're Tom's Handgun, you know? So it just kind of stuck. And we had no other choice, you know? I feel like Jesus gave us that name.
Yeah. Yeah. He
So,
did. That was a divine name for you.
That's right.
It can hit some people the wrong way, but in general, I think, you know.
Yeah. I
A
love
great band name, yeah.
it. I'd love it.
Band names are like the hardest thing to come up with.
They are. They're so hard, man.
Or just
100%.
any kind of branding is like the hardest thing to come up with.
It's like almost if you think about it too hard, you've already failed.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
it's just gotta come, and when it does, it's like,
Natural.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
Just
it.
got to let it happen.
That's right. Got to.
So, you
Tom's
know.
Handgun.
Yeah, so we've been, like 2019 was just great for us. We were just busy. On the road all the time. No time off. You know, we were starting to nitpick each other, just the same old thing, you know, just great stuff, though, you know, just on the road doing it. And took a little break, and then Corona hit, and it was just like, wow, you know,
Yeah.
life is different all of a sudden.
When you say you're on the road together, is that like a couple weekends in a row? Are you gone for months at a time? How does that kind of look? Or I should say, how did it look in 2019?
2019, we would try to be home through the month at least, a couple weekends. Not like home, but like play Saturday in Kentucky, drive home, be home Sunday.
Gotcha.
So like we were, it got to the point, we were having to say like, we're going to turn this down. We got to, not that we were not wanting to push it, just we were trying to get the record done, trying to be family. And,
Sure.
There's just so much to balance there.
Sure.
But we were doing a good job of it. I felt like we were doing a great job just keeping our head down and working, So, we were knocking it out. And I felt good about that. We're blessed to have girlfriends and wives that would, they love our music. And they're behind us, and so that makes all the difference in the world. Once one person at home being like, "Why ain't you home tonight?" It can just,
Right.
everybody's off then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So blessed with that.
Yeah.
And on the road, we travel a lot. It's like, they're my family. You know what I'm saying? They're the people I
100%.
spent the most time with. We share art. We share artistic expression. So we're, when you do that with someone, you become bonded. You know how it is. You guys work together. I'm sure
Yep.
You spend hours working on something that a goal
Yep.
or a destination. It's you bond over that.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's even like pulling that away from you was tough enough.
Sure.
So we're just trying to piece it back together. Get started back out like everybody else is.
Yep.
Everybody else
Yep.
is doing it. So we're putting our head down, going back to work, I guess.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It's well put.
Yeah, that's wild, man. So so you have your solo stuff that you put out, and you have your band stuff. Like, does that cause any issues, or is everybody cool with that?
Not at all. It's been cool. They'll ask me sometimes. They're like, "Hey, we like this song. Can we do this as a band?"
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've never shut anything down on that.
Yeah.
Most of it has come from just necessity, as far as like a lot of bigger places closed down. Some
Yep.
smaller places were having music, so there was work there. So we'd do that. Like I said, can play. Me and my guitar player do a duo. We have that bass player. We have a trio. So anywhere we can find work, we're willing to work. And we're one of those bands too. I think we have a sound. I think my sound is their sound.
Yeah.
Drummer writes some stuff. Guitar player writes some stuff that's great. But I think they're in the same vein I'm in. So
Yep.
I'm not saying that I'm setting the tone, but what we do is the tone. And so having them come in and being able to fill things in and just have that working relationship, man, when that's taken from you, when I'm racking my brain that I've been trying to get this one little part right at the end of the riff or the end of a bar that I know Keith would know,
Yep.
Keith's the one that don't have a phone, so I can't send it to him on the iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm like call his telephone and like just put the phone down and listen. But dude, it's hard. It's hard. It's like, but people lost jobs and all that, so you're not trying to be too sad. But
Yeah.
I try to keep that in perspective.
I would try to look at it in like again I don't come from that world, so I don't know if it makes sense. I would try to look for it as like almost now, like everyone's kind of on an equal ground,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because just momentum has been stunted, or so it's almost like now if there's kind of an equal playing field, if there ever is such thing in music, you're kind of at that point coming out of COVID, and hopefully this summer, man, we're coming down to your shows in Tennessee, and hopefully all this is kind of vaccine, like you said, and everything's kind of pushing us past that, and hopefully we get live music every weekend soon. I don't know about, there's nothing I'd rather do than enjoy live music with a cold beer on a weekend with people I love and sing the songs, and
I know how much you miss it.
It's crazy. So much. It's literally what I do for fun. I don't know how else to put that in words. That's
It's some people's therapy, and it's just going. It's how you relax and wind down and
they have a
connect with other people, even.
They have a venue called Innsbruck After Hours. They've actually had they actually had like Brad Paisley in a Florida Georgia line like right before they kind of popped, I would say. But it's like maybe 500 people outside, beer carts around, food carts around, and
to me, that's the best, man. About
it's awesome. It's awesome.
Intimate situation.
Yeah.
It's like the big crowds, and we've played some things like the Popcorn Suttons Festival. That's just huge, and
How many
it's
people?
great.
How many people's
I mean,
that?
just you're looking at it thousands of people, and it's cool. I mean, there's a good vibe there. But there's my favorite, not just playing, but also listening. To somebody is when you can get in that little theater sometimes. And it's just right there, and you hear every note they play and every lyric. That's the good stuff. I love that other stuff, and I'm happy to do it. I ain't never gonna turn it down for sure.
Of course.
But yeah, dude, that like I said, it's like religion. It's kind of like it become a religious thing for me in a way, a therapeutic thing in a way.
Sure.
It's kind of your joy, I guess. What you get out of it. So
100%.
I'm just ready to get back to that spot, man, for sure.
Hopefully we're on the down portion of the mountain.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me talk about the garden specifically. Just because that's what we shot. Where'd you write it? When'd you write it? Inspiration behind it. Just tell me what that looked like on your end when you were creating it.
Right. I was coming to. I was in one of those places coming out to where I was starting to look around and appreciate what I had in my life. And as far as the things that were, it's very easy to look over things that you become used to that are, something really good every day. Sometimes you forget how important it is or how good it is. So definitely. I guess in a way I was kind of in that mind frame of coming out of some really rough places in life, and just had a good person with me, a good partner, and just thinking about what that meant, and I guess you look at yourself as searching for something,
Sure.
and like being able to find somebody to work on that with. It's just like I said, I look at it, I love to garden. I love to work with land, and I've always loved it. I've always been a farm hand or tobacco hay. I've always done that from when I was a kid. And it's not always a fun thing to do, but at the end of it, when you see the results and when you see that hard work, it's a good thing. And I was kind of thinking about putting that work in and the time somebody was putting in with me, and that lyric, you could do better than me even in this little town. You're saying like, you have so many options, but you're working on this with me,
I've seen that. I've sang that lyric like probably 25 times
right?
today. But yeah.
But it's one of the truest things I've ever wrote. And I'm just like when you're in a place where life is actually looking like it might be something good, and you're like, wow, what a blessing it is. I guess that's where I was trying to come from.
Sure.
To say, I'm thankful for these things. And I'm happy to do the work. I love the work because of the result. I know you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, something that's handed to you, you still enjoy and love, but something that you earned and you worked for and you put it in.
Yeah, it's different.
It's a different kind of joy. And,
totally.
I was there thinking about, I was actually maturing or becoming to a place where I say, I can see that in relationships as well. And not just, between a man and woman, between friends, between family.
Sure.
It's not all easy, but the best things come from what you put work on. So, the garden, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's the garden is not mentioned one time in the song. I don't say the word the garden one time, but it's just talking about that experience of getting in there and being like, if you want life to be good, you got to make it.
That's so funny. I always thought to myself like, man, the garden. What a perfect song name. But I didn't even realize that you didn't even say those lines in the song. And just perfect. Encapsulating what you're trying to say in the song, man. Like I said, that's the song that I landed on. Showed Tim, and Tim was just as excited as me, and that's kind of why we reached out. And
tickled me, man. I'm happy. Yeah,
I'm just very happy to have you on, man. Very happy to have you here, and what we made. It's just I like it. I like you as an artist, as a person, and
but like I said, same for you guys. So you kind of get vibe from people, and I think you spend some time with somebody, you discuss art with somebody, their art, your art, and you're gonna know where somebody's coming from. You're gonna know what their purpose is, and like I think we had a good vibe early, so I'm very happy to that too.
Absolutely.
That you guys that we got in contact and were able to do that, because I do feel like we're coming from all the same place. It's we're just trying to put the thing that we love out there, and trying to. I know you guys love, like you said, you see somebody's message, what they're trying to do, and you're happy to help them do that. That's a beautiful thing. And, like I said, I'm very happy you guys reached out, because I definitely feel a good vibe with that. I think good things are going to come up for sure.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Yep.
Agreed.
And the garden video, when you're seeing this, should be live on the YouTube channel as well, because I'm going to try to drop these at the same time. So yeah, go check that out, and then of course future videos. I assume we'll be
Absolutely,
working on,
yeah.
hopefully, depending on the outcome of this one. But
Yep.
we should be dropping some future videos from Mr. Toby Gibson over here.
Yep.
And
Give us your Apple and Spotify, and
Yeah,
give us
everything.
where you're at so that people can come find you.
It'll be TobyGibsonMusic.com online.
Okay.
On Facebook, it's Toby Gibson Music.
Okay.
And Instagram, same thing. We'll just catch us on the moon 2025. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
that's right,
That's
going to
right.
the moon, boy.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you like what we're putting out and the artists that we're talking to and all of this goodness. And yeah, thanks Toby for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me,
You gotta
guys.
get a
Enjoyed
long
it.
drive back, so
It's been a good day, man. Definitely excited to
Hell
see
yeah.
you.
Awesome. It was great to talk to you. Great to meet you, man. And hopefully make this happen again here soon.
yes sir.
Definitely.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, y'all.
See y'all later.
Later.
Peace.